What do you get when you put 25 years of APC expert experience, 21 years assessing, and over 1,500 assessments delivered and facilitated? It's the DeLever myAPC Diary. Hello and welcome to the myAPC Diary demonstration. My name's Jon Lever and I'm going to give you a quick tour through the myAPC Diary and its functions. In its simplest term, I've designed this system to be a simple online spreadsheet, but the fact it's online means you can share it with a lot of people, you can keep your data yourself, you can download the data anytime you want, and your supervisor, counselor can monitor as you're progressing through the process. So let me just walk you through its functions. As we can see at the bottom of the page, let's just start there. We've got the candidate info tab, the My Diary tab, the My Logbook tab, the My CPD log tab, and My Summary of Experience. And we're going to look at each one of those very briefly as we go through. Starting with the candidate info, we have a candidate information bar where you've got various key information about the candidate, and every yellow cell or white cell or grey cell with a little drop down arrow can be used to select data and information. The system is secured, so you can only put data in the light yellow cells or the white cells, and the reason for that is just to really maintain its integrity, so that if you're putting data in the wrong place, it doesn't then break the calculations and the error checking and everything that it's doing for you. But that keeps it pretty simple and it is very easy to use. We then have the assessment information, so this is where we select our start date, and then we have the mandatory competencies, we have the technical core competencies, optional and optional plus. Now you'll notice we have plenty of space in here, so you can pick more than one competency if you wish, and you can test competencies against each other, recording time against them and see how they're going to progress if you have a thought process of which one you're not sure what to use. But use your pathway guide, use the requirements and competence guide, and put the minimum requirements in, and away you go. On the top and the right hand side of this slide is all about the checking on the system. So we have an error checking system at the top of the page. We have a status section on the right hand side of the page, and lots of links. You can pop your mouse over, click on the link, it'll take you to our web page. That's the candidate information sheet, the first sheet that you start with, basically to set up the system and select your competencies. Then let's look at the diary. So My Diary allows you to start on the date that we put at the top there. We then have a 6 years worth of diary that's created automatically. We have a morning and an afternoon against every day, and we highlight Saturdays and Sundays. So if I was to scroll through here, it will just keep going. There's 6 years worth that you can record, and that keeps a tally of everything that you're doing. You put your text in here, more than one line of text, it will just carry return, and you select your competencies from drop downs that are created on the basis of what you put in your candidate information page. And you then select your competencies again, level 2 and level 3. Level 2 doing, level 3 offering advice. If you want to record level 1, we suggest that's CPD, but you could put an entry in here, but just not tag it, or you could keep a tally of that as well if you really want to. But as far as we're concerned, you would record knowledge base and learning in your CPD log. Okay, that's the diary. That's all you have to do there is fill it in, and away you go. We then look at the logbook. Now the My Logbook section is fully automated. There is no data entry here for you, but what it's doing is recording year on year what you're achieving. So we have our competency list that we've put in here. That's automatically selected for us. We then have year on year, year 1, year 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, and we also have levels 2 and levels 3 totals as well. So you can see how you're progressing against any of your competencies in the table that's shown. Now the real benefit here, however, is if we scroll across the page, we then have a visual and graphical representation of that. And you'll notice the yellow and green on screen here, that's stacking year 1 on year 2, just to give you an overall total. And you can see here it matches the colors of the year 1 and 2 as well. Let's scroll down the page. Not only do you have it each year, but you now have it broken down across that year as well. And based on the month that you put into the system as your start month, it works out 12 months each year on your personal diary chronology. And you can see now the colors again here are all stacked on top of each other. Now, if I was managing this candidate, I would immediately be paying my attention to the contract admin and the valuation competencies in the middle of the page there. Why are all the rest growing and those are so shallow? So let's have a look at that, and that would then tend to give you opportunities to see red flags early on. So that's the logbook, and that carries on down the page, years 3, 4, 5, 6 and so on. So that's how the logbook works. Moving on to the CPD log. Now, no diary would be any good if it didn't have a CPD and summary of experience, but we do appreciate you might not want to use these sections. You may use that in Word, but it keeps everything in one place if you do want to share that data with everybody else. Again, you can select a date, an activity type, you can put a description in, and you can select your hours. More error checking goes goes on in here. So if you're selecting any of the cells that you don't then put corresponding cells in, it will throw up an error. But the benefit you have here is being able to monitor what you've done each year on the right hand side of the page here. Formal, year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. And we've achieved formal in year 1 because it's highlighted that for us. And then you also have a year-on-year breakdown against each of the activities as well, if you so choose. That's the CPD log done. So you can keep a monitor and an eye on your CPD as you go along. And then the last section is my summary of experience. So what this provides you with is an opportunity to monitor your sign-offs and also monitor your word counts. Top of the left of the page here, we have the mandatory competencies, 1,500 word limit on those. We have technical competencies, a 4,000 word limit on those. And we've thrown in, just for good measure and to remind you about the case study, that you wouldn't be writing the case study in here. Again, you'd write it in Word and then you'll PDF it and upload it into the assessment tool. So what we have here is each of the competencies. Here's our mandatories with the relevant levels, the technicals we've selected with their relevant levels, and the optionals and optional plus. And all the work goes in down here further down the page. And again, you can see your mandatories, your technicals, cores, optionals, and optional plus. Let's just take us up to one of the mandatories. You can see there's some text in here. That's currently counted 29 words in that cell. Let's just go down to one that's empty and go, I hope you are enjoying the demonstration. Hopefully I've spelt that all correctly. If I press enter, that's now counted 7 words for me. If I want to say I've signed that off as well, I can do so. So this was conflict avoidance, level 1, 7 words, the 5th of May. Let's go to the top of the page. Conflict avoidance, there it is. I've recorded 7 words against that. And look, it's also shown me that I've had that signed off. So you can keep a tally and an eye on what's going on. So that is the myAPC diary. So just a few last pointers here, just things to think about. 1, you can record everything in one place. 2, it's going to save you hours because it just works and it instantly tells you where you're making mistakes. So it's got lots of error checking built into it. 3, we will send you a link to it, and so you can share that with whoever you want to oversee and monitor what you're doing, supervisors, counselors, and HR or APC managers. Also, you can download the data anytime and back it up just by saving this offline, and it gives you everything you need in a nice encompassing shell. Also, we have technical support and you can come back and ask questions anytime. We're also running some online sessions, so you can drop in if you're unsure about how to fill any of it in. And that basically is the APC diary. If you have any questions, please do come back to us. Either drop us an email at hello@DeLever.com or pop onto our website at DeLever.com and click on the myAPC diary section. Just leaves me to say thank you for listening, thank you for watching, and if you want anything else, then please do come back and ask. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.